That was also the year where the IRS received permission from the Justice Department to send out 1,000 John Doe summonses, meaning they were allowed to reach out to privately owned businesses, such like any exchange, anything KYC, because none of the crypto was regulated by any government agency. So they're technically privately held. They were not regulated. They were allowed to reach out to them and say, you need to give us the data of US taxpayers that have touched crypto. So they just a month and a half ago received the third round back of responses. So they're up to date on what US citizen, what US national, what US taxpayer has touched crypto. So that's what they started their audits on. Because they have a full list. And I know people think, oh, well, I use decentralized, I use MetaMask, I use Ledger, I use Trezor, I use hardware, well, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Because at one point or another, unless you are the 1% that only purchases for peer-to-peer purchasing, you have to use something with the KYC. Even on MetaMask, if you use MoonPay to sell or buy, there's a KYC attached because your identity has to be verified for bank, pulling it from a bank, etc. So your data is out there. They don't know how much you have. They don't know where you hold it. They know you had it. The IRS knows who you are. They know that you bought crypto. They can see your AGI. They know how much money you've made. They can kind of estimate, oh, they probably put in a lot. That's how they're going to, establish who to audit, and they're going to go down the list. Yeah. Now, it is your responsibility to prove them wrong. Okay. Your responsibility to say, you're wrong, I'm right. Now, as I said, these products have features that will immediately disqualify from an audit. Plus, they'll give you different answers. So how are you going to prove that they're wrong and, they're right or wrong, whatever it is? So we met with the SEC in late April, beginning of May of 23. And we presented our findings, and their response was, oh, crap. It's like, yeah, pretty much. We met with their attorneys. So they sent us straight over to the IRS and congressional committees. So in 23, we met with the IRS and congressional committees. While we were meeting with the IRS, we also asked them, how do you do your audits? Turns out the process they had was completely inaccurate. So our research actually stopped their audits.